I'm happy you brought up these points. Let's go to COVID and the intervention of central bank governor. I would like you to point me to any country in the world where the central bank governor took the lead, took the initiative in addressing COVID concerns. That is the role of the Minister of Health or any of the agencies under the Ministry of Health. That's not the role of the central bank governor. Again, it's abuse of office. It's not understanding his role. The economy was suffering from the impact of COVID. Instead of him to address and face the economy, he took on the role of the Minister of Health and leading a COVID initiative because he was bringing in, he was trying to bring a coalition of people in the private sector. But that's not his role. The Minister of Health could have done that. And again, if you look at how those funds were disbursed to cronies, we had humongous sums given to people to build hospitals and what have you. Where's the accountability? Now let's look at NIRSAL. Look at NIRSAL, and you talk of the billions that have been expended in NIRSAL. Tell me how many people you know who benefited. If NIRSAL had worked, if the Anchor Browse program had worked, then we will be speaking about diversifying our economy now. We should be a net exporter of agricultural produce right now. But look at now, we're talking about subsidy removal, and look at the price of agricultural products rising. In fact, before the subsidy removal, we had serious inflation. People could not afford food produce anymore. Why? Because that sector was hugely impacted. So I've not seen the effects of the humongous sum spent in that sector. I haven't seen it. And that is not his role at all. Anywhere we speak of his intervention, let's speak about his intervention in real terms, in practical terms, in those we can see, in the industries, in the companies, we can directly name these companies. This is how they benefited. This is what they have done. That you and I can feel, that we can say we're benefiting from it. Right, not maybe in paper terms, not in theoretical terms. We should speak about it in real terms.
All right. Your line of thought clearly established. But some people would argue with you that Godwin Emefiele did not work unilaterally taking decisions. He reported to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And there's nowhere that I've read so far, please correct me if I'm wrong, where we heard that he unilaterally designed a policy and, made it pass through and then went ahead to implement this. If all of these are coming the way of the suspended CBN governor, are you saying that it should also be something that one can query the past administration headed by former President Muhammadu Buhari?
So let me say this, right? Let's take you for example. You are here interviewing me under the auspices of Silverbird Television, right? Now you have the consent of Silverbird Television, but you also have your own personal responsibility as to the questions you can ask me and how you interrogate and how you interpret those questions. The buck stops at your table. Whereas you are being employed by Silverbird TV, but the buck stops at your table as to the latitude of the questions you ask me today. That's all I'm saying about the buck stopping at the Emefiele's table. I am not in any way suggesting that the previous administration of President Buhari is not implicated, because President Buhari ultimately is the final decision maker in everything. But let me tell you this: if you are giving a lawless instruction or an instruction not backed by law by your boss, you have the right to refuse that instruction. If you are giving an instruction that will undermine the integrity of our nation, you have the right to refuse that instruction. We should be principled about the stand we take. We should not fight to be in an office when that office does not serve the Nigerian people. So the buck stops at Emefiele's table. We cannot just call President Buhari. We all know that the previous administration was a monumental failure. We also know that people took advantage of the ill health of the former president, took advantage of that and messed up this country. So yes, the former president must own up, he must take responsibility, but we should not absolve Emefiele and people like him. Nigerians are suffering. Look at Nigeria today. Our roads are empty. People cannot go to work. Your salary can barely do anything for you. People are hopeless and helpless, don't even have a voice to speak. Nigeria is about the only nation where you take away subsidy at this rate. Look at the exponential nature of the rate, and people couldn't even go into the streets. Why? We have been so abused that we are unable to do anything about our situation anymore in this country. We seem to have become slaves, voiceless slaves. That is what these people have done to us, and we cannot continue to condone this. We must speak strongly against this. The essence of June 12 today, why we celebrate June 12 today, is because a man chose to fight for the freedoms we enjoy today. The justice he didn't get is the justice we're enjoying. The freedoms denied him is the freedom we have today. But why do we then refuse to speak up? Why do we then choose to paper over issues when our government is abusing us? That man lost his life for the freedoms we enjoy today. And that's why we must speak. We must never allow this to continue, where people who were given high offices to hold, they abuse their office, and we ignore them.